silver, wine, art and gold. And amid all the market volatility, it's where you should be stashing more of your cash. So says the Vin X broking manager Jeremy Peacock. He tells you why it's time to invest in the best of French produce.
Today's European Markets Update is brought to you by Interactive Brokers. To find out why Barron's rated us Best Online Broker 2012, visit interactivebrokers.com. Today's European Markets Update was brought to you by Interactive Brokers. To find out why Barron's rated us Best Online Broker 2012, visit interactivebrokers.com.
Get ahead no matter where you are with Bloomberg TV Plus. It's the video iPad app you've been waiting for. You can watch Bloomberg Television live 24/7. Get original content produced just for mobile, exclusive interviews, top business stories, and get on-demand access to our most popular shows. Plus, with one tap, you'll get real-time market data and news on featured companies and people. Bloomberg TV Plus, always connected, always in the know, everywhere you go. Download the free iPad app today.
Bloomberg Markets is the world's leading magazine in finance, covering the people, firms, and deals that move markets, featuring the industry players you want to know more about, giving you an insider's view of the world's most private firms, providing in-depth analysis on the business deals that happen behind closed doors, and covering emerging industries with insight and context. If you want the unique access and perspective that can only be found in Bloomberg Markets magazine, subscribe today at bloombergmarkets.com.
There's more to business than the same old news. Bloomberg Business Week gives you the ideas, data, and insight to get ahead. Stories go behind the headlines to tell you something you don't already know. From global economics and companies to politics and technology. It's up to 80% off if you act now. Each week, Bloomberg Business Week goes deeper, takes you to new places, new people, shows you what other business magazines miss. Go to businessweek-subscriber.com/TV offer for this special Bloomberg TV offer. Act now.
I'm Bloomberg's economics editor Linda Yu. These are the most important economic data investors are watching this Monday. We get the latest reading of Dutch consumer confidence. In June, confidence plunged to -40, the lowest level in 9 years, and that's due to a double-dip recession in the Netherlands. And the government is also forecasting a full-year contraction of 0.75%. Eurozone construction may be stabilizing on German recovery, and that would be seen in the monthly figures. But from a year ago, construction output has declined since January and fell by nearly 8.5% in May. We get the latest trade figures for Ireland this week, and that could add more signs to the Irish recovery. Exports have consistently generated a trade surplus, despite the still strong euro during much of the past few years. The monthly surplus has averaged between 2.5 to 4.5 billion euros. For all the latest economic news plus analysis, you can also follow me on Twitter. That's at Linda Yu.
Now, would you pay $11 million to get behind the wheel of this? A 1968 Ford GT40 Racer. That's what it sold for at an auction in California. A record price for any car. If it seems steep, you should know it's exceedingly rare. There are only a handful of GT40s out there and only 2 in this Mirage M1 configuration. It raced at Le Mans and Daytona, driven by Jackie X, and it even has a Hollywood pedigree. It co-starred with Steve McQueen in the movie Le Mans. Well, today's the last chance to bid in Christie's first online wine auction. There's something for everyone. Estimates for bottles start as low as $200 and shoot all the way up to $35,000. There are 301 lots to choose from. Between them, they're expected to rake in more than $750,000. Jeremy Peacock is a broking manager at Vin X. He joins us now. Are you keeping a close eye on this Christie's online wine auction? I have. I had a look actually just before heading out this morning, and saw the last bid on one of the top lots there, Lafitte's 1982, is reached $35,000 US, so about £22,000, which is pretty impressive. I gather some said that the estimates were deliberately placed low to encourage bidders.
I can imagine they would be,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, there's still, I think, about 10 hours left of the auction, so I would assume some people will be putting some bids in right towards the end, see if they can get a good deal out there.
301 lots. I mean, the estimate was for an excess of 750,000. Do you think they're going to break that figure, 750,000?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I feel that there's certainly potential for it, and you're right. I think they've probably underestimated what this can bring back.
Yeah.
But we're certainly keeping an eye specifically on the Bordeaux wines.
Right.
Those are the ones that matter to us the most, and we're keeping a close eye.
Why do they matter the most to you?
Well, that's really what we concentrate on with Vin X. And we feel that Bordeaux are the wines that are really tracked the most as far as demand is concerned. They're the ones, when you look at the Live X 100, look at the Bordeaux wines, and really they're the ones that, for investment purposes, are the best performers.
And just remind our viewers, if you can, Jeremy, what this Live X Investables is, just so they know and they can...
Well, Live X Investables really mirrors a typical portfolio, fine wine portfolio. It looks at 200 wines from 24 chateaux across Bordeaux. And it has produced about 14.8% compound growth for the last 18 years.
Although in the last 18 months, it's down by, what, roughly 25%. So what's happened in the last 18 months to precipitate that decline?
Well, it's probably prior to the 18 months that really this reason happened. When import duty was dropped in Hong Kong in 2008, it opened the gates up to China, and we saw huge growth of about 110% over 2 years. Now, no market in the world is going to sustain that kind of growth, and so what's probably happened is it's returned to probably a more realistic level for now. Of course, people who bought at the top of the market are probably not smiling, but the medium term actually looks very positive.
And as you say, I mean, it's produced 14.9% compound average growth over the last 18 years. Do you see that sort of average continuing if we were to spin it forward another 10, 15, 20 years?
Well, funnily enough, the last 5 years has produced, as a result of the correction, has produced now just 4% compound growth. But historically, whenever the fine wine market has produced compound growth of less than 5% for 5 years running, it's been followed by compound growth of 17.6% for the following 5 years. So I think the signs look good. Demand is coming back. The Chinese, the American market as well, certainly look like they're buying back in again.
The American market, very important, of course.
Absolutely, yes,
And as you say, there are various types of wine which you focus on, and I've been looking at them. Latour has been an investment favourite, hasn't it?
Yes,
is that going to continue to be so? This is one of the first growth wines,
that's correct,
as you call it, which are the top 5 blue chips, isn't it? So why is Latour such a favourite?
Well, Latour, like a lot of the first growths, are our favourites because it is the first growth that came down the most during the correction, and those are the ones that really sort of led the fall. But earlier this year, Latour actually announced that they were no longer going to release any more en primeur onto the market, and they were going to hold back their wines until they're actually ready to drink. They're also going to be buying back a lot of drinking Latour, so effectively cutting off the supply. So they're going to be shortening the supply of Latour available, meaning anyone who's got any, it's just going to make it a lot harder to get hold of.
And a final question, Jeremy, why should I buy wine or track this index relative to other asset classes right now?
Well, people are looking at all asset classes at the moment. They're getting fed up of the volatility in your more traditional market, so they're looking for asset-based investments. Wine is one of the best performers amongst that. It's not correlated to a lot of what is going on globally. It comes down to the fact that there's huge demand for a finite resource.
Fascinating stuff. Jeremy, thank you very much indeed. Jeremy Peacock, their broking manager at Vin X. Well, Deutsche Bank feels the heat. Last week it was Standard